You know, they say at least once in our lifetime we'll encounter a serial killer, and that idea alone has always haunted me. In today's video, we are diving into true stories from people who came face to face with real monsters and lived to talk about it. Welcome to Decode. BeMe, 14 years old. 10 years ago, taking the train from home from school. I'm tall and thin, very feminine, long hair and eyelashes, full lips for a guy, belly spotting, chin fuzz, older man, thinning, short on length grey long hair, was standing at the edge of the platform. As I get off the train, we make eye contact. He has a weird statue-like vibe, both in behavior and looks. There is zero light behind his eyes, gaunt face with heavily hooded eyes, and a nose like a hawk, deep lines, sharp features, and a grim mouth. I think nothing of it. I take my regular mile-long route home. Most of the walk is down a busy street, but after a couple of blocks, I realize the guy from the train is 10 paces behind me. I'm immediately unnerved. I start speed walking, take an unusual turn off the main road. He's still following me, matching my pace. I make 3 lefts. He stays on me. A little further back now, but still watching. I manage to text my older brother. He's a complete neckbeard, autist but built like a Scandinavian gorilla. He's in a LARP group that dress like knights and beats the shit out of each other with fake swords. He got this pretend claymore made from a metal pipe. He tells me to meet him at a certain intersection. I glance back. Fuck, dude is 5 feet behind me now, glaring. I break into a run. Then I see my brother. He grabs my wrists and we head back home. The guy vanishes, but my brother saw him too. Cops show up minutes later. 2 squad cars. One officer is this massive guy in a bulletproof vest holding a shotgun. They question me. Turns out the guy is already on their radar. No name, no address, but he's a suspect in 3 missing kid cases and 1 body found. He stalks feminine looking boys in white neighborhoods. There are multiple reports of him following kids, even trying to grab one, but the kid got away. I'm a half-away decent artist. I sketch his face for the police. They thank me and warn me to be careful. About a year and a half later, I am 16. It's dead winter and cold as hell. I am with some friends, stoners, but I don't smoke. We are in the same neighborhood from before. My mom lives there, but I was staying with my dad 2 miles away. One of my friend's friends has this slum basement apartment. 3 tanks of lizards, hole in the wall, swords and gun, hanging of nails. It's a school night, 11 p.m. and I tell them I gotta head out. We all split and I start the walk home. It's mostly a straight shot, but the street is lined with old pine trees and barely any lights. Just a few intersections. With working lamps I usually don't get spooked. I am a night owl and I have a great night vision, but that night, something felt wrong. My neck hair stood up. I walk past one of the trees and I feel someone there. There is a man crouching under the pine. I pass him and about 20 feet later, I hear him move, sliding out from under the tree. The snow mutes the sound, but I know it. I cross the street immediately and start speed walking. He's 15 feet behind me. on the other side of the road, eyes locked on me. He's wearing full camo with a backpack and a ski mask. That's not fucking good. I walk as fast as I can without running. After a few blocks, I cross a lit intersection. He crosses behind me, and I catch the glint of a knife in his hand under the streetlight. I am not dying tonight. I unstrap my heavy-ass backpack and tuck it under my arm. Then I take off. I'm not fit, but back in school, I ranked top 10 in the 100-meter dash. I count 7 blocks before I slow to a jog. My chest is on fire. My nose is pouring blood. I glance back, he's still there. I'm about 15 feet away jogging. Like some damn persistence hunter. Adrenaline hits. I sprint again. My memory goes foggy. It felt like I was flying. Wind in my ears. No thoughts, just running. My house is 4 blocks of the main road. I turn, sprint up the street, crash through my front door, lock all the doors and windows, and barricade myself in my room. I am coughing blood. It feels like I ran a mile in 5 minutes. I call the police. They send a car. Hours later, they catch the guy a couple of blocks from my house, creeping out of the woods. It was him, the same man from the train. A few weeks later, I find out he's a Vietnam vet with a violent past, multiple murders, over 2 decades, and he admitted to assaulting kids before killing them. Cops said I was lucky. To be fair, I still don't know how I made it out of that night. I was 18, went on a casual date with a guy I met at a supermarket. At first, he seemed fine, but once we sat down to eat, something felt off, like really off. There was no light behind his eyes, just a void. I felt preyed on. I'd never done this before, but I told him I had to use the bathroom. Walk to a payphone and call my brother to pick me up. I stayed in the bathroom until he arrived. I left without a word and felt this wave of relief until the next morning. My brother, who delivered papers early, saw a man hiding in the bushes outside our house. When he confronted him, the guy ran, beige jacket, same guy. He'd driven me home. He knew where I lived. 3 years later, I see his face on the news, dead, Bundy. I swear my heart stopped. People always said he was charming, handsome, but what I saw, that predatory look, it wasn't human. Back in high school, my uncle worked at a fast food joint. His manager invited him and another teen over to hang out after their shift. My uncle declined. Something felt off. A few years later, their friendly manager, John Wayne Gacy, he'd been luring boys to his home, murdering them and burying them in his crawl space. That one declined invitation might have saved my uncle's life. I was bunked in a 2-man prison cell with this older guy who had just been transferred in. Quiet dude, barely talked. I figured he was just shaken up. Found out later he was a doctor. He murdered his wife and both parents. He got life sentence. He lasted about 2 weeks. One night I hopped down from my bunk to take a piss and slipped in something. It was dark. Only light came from the door window. I thought maybe he'd pissed the bed, but I felt sticky. I put my hands on the light, covered in blood. I freaked, started banging on the door like a maniac. The guards thought we were fighting. They looked through the window, saw me covered in blood, and called the code. It took 15 minutes for them to open the door. Of course they thought that I killed him. threw me in the box for 10 days while they investigated, eventually ruled it a suicide. He slit his jugular, but that moment slipping in his blood, thinking he pissed the floor, then realizing I was covered in his death. Yeah, that never leaves you. Every story you just heard is real. These weren't encounters in the dark web, horror movies, or urban legends. These were face-to-face moments with true predators. And every one of these people walked away with their lives, but now without scars. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, S9, and this has been Decode, and stay safe.